Hey guys, Constance here from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So we have another rainy day today and it looks like my yard is not going to get mowed again, which I guess is fine because I actually had some plans to do some canning. So I've got my ball canning book here, Complete Book of Home Preserving. This is my favorite book when it comes to canning. And the recipe that I'm going to do is one that I saw in here when I was looking up information about carrots, when I scored all of those carrots from the grocery store on sale. And I saw this Vietnamese carrot and daikon pickles. Well, I had daikon radishes in the garden, so I decided to go ahead and make a batch of these. It calls for 2 pounds of carrots and 2 pounds of daikon radishes. It calls for white vinegar, water, sugar, ginger root, fresh grated ginger, and some star anise. Super simple, so I'm going to get started on working on these. So the first thing that I will do is I'm going to peel all of my carrots and the daikon radishes as well. And then I will put my food processor to use. And I don't have a mandolin. A mandolin is one of those big kind of sliding slicers. You can get a julienne blade for one of those. But I will confess to you that those big mandolins kind of scare me. Every person that I have ever known who has used one of those has cut themselves, and I don't mean like a little cut. I mean like a friend of mine had to have multiple surgeries, skin grafts and everything else, and like I said, everybody I know who has one has done that. Makes me a little leery about wanting to get one of those. I mean, I may end up getting one at some point down the road if I continue to expand all of the canning and preserving that I do, but I will definitely be using these safeties for that because one of the things that the people who have hurt themselves have admitted is that they weren't using the safety piece that holds the food. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of a lesson in safety and using tools the proper way. But, yeah. So if I do end up getting one down the road, then I'll definitely be making sure to do it the proper way, because I've definitely had a lot of people teach me that lesson through their own mistakes. Now, in my video that went up for me yesterday, I shared an experience that I had with a skunk, and seeing a skunk out during the daylight is unusual. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with that skunk. It was actually very overcast. I mean, the camera kind of brightened things up. It was actually at dusk and it was very overcast, and it's not uncommon to see a skunk out that time of day. However, you know, some people did mention it charging the fence was possibly something to be concerned about. And it's still a bit early in the day. I don't think any of the offices are open yet. So I will call the wildlife service and just mention, you know, hey, is this something I need to be concerned about? Are there any reports of rabid skunks in the area? And I'll just bring it to their attention. I mean, I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm not worried about seeing a skunk when it's not completely dark outside, but probably good to err on the side of caution when it comes to something like that, because I have heard of instances of rabies somewhere in the area, but I don't remember where exactly it was. So I'll make that call here in a little while. Alright, so I just got done making my pickled carrots and radishes. And the lids are doing the little tink tink sound. I think there's like maybe one left that hasn't popped yet. Of course it may have, but I'll test them after they're cool. So I mentioned a little bit ago about calling the wildlife department and speaking to somebody about that skunk at the recommendation of several of you, and spoke to the expert, and they went through the scenario with me. I explained exactly what had happened, and they said it does sound unusual. There is a chance that the skunk could have rabies. Now, if the skunk was surprised, the person I spoke to said that that has actually happened to them before, where the skunk was taken by surprise and they kind of did a little charge sort of thing to get you to back off because you startled them. It's a better option than being sprayed, I suppose. But they said it sounded like I hadn't actually surprised the skunk, and so rabies could be a possibility. And so basically here's the rundown. If the skunk does have rabies, and it could because skunks do get rabies now and again, when the animal begins acting unusual and acting aggressive and things are off with this animal because of rabies, they will be dead before long. She said it takes about 7 to 10 days. So they told me to be diligent over the next week to 10 days. Make sure when I let the dogs out, make sure the skunk is not around. Keep an eye out for myself when I'm going out. Make sure that the skunk does not bum rush me. But basically, there's nothing much else that we can do. Unless there's an incident where somebody gets bit by this skunk, then the health department would be involved. But basically, keep an eye out. If we're in danger, of course, go ahead and do what we need to do. But, you know, there is actually a skunk season. You can't just dispatch a skunk anytime you want to. A lot of people don't know that, so you have to make sure you've checked all the boxes. If we were in a situation where we were in danger from this skunk, they would give us a special permit to go ahead and dispatch it. But at this point, you know, they just said, be diligent, keep an eye out. And I told them I am, because I don't want to get sprayed by the skunk. Yeah, so that is the rundown of what happened with the skunk and what the wildlife department said. So I've been keeping busy today. I actually just got done making some zucchini bread. It is currently baking in the oven. Went out to the garden, got a couple more zucchini, and so now I'm going to start a zucchini pickle recipe. And this is another one of those recipes from the Ball book. Now, I have never made zucchini pickles, but I figure I got so many zucchini, why not try it out, see how it tastes. Alright, so I just came out here real quick to try and quickly pick some beans. And it's insanely humid right now. It's been raining for a couple of days. So, I froze a bunch of beans last night. And so I'm picking some more to hopefully make some pickled beans. So I am busy at it. I've got my canner going right now with the zucchini pickles in there. My smoked sausage is finishing up in the cast iron skillet, and the baked squash just came out of the oven. Let me show you. There you go. That is a super easy recipe. Like I said, it's just the sliced squash, about a 1/4 inch thick, olive oil, salt and pepper, a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top, 20 minutes at 450 degrees. Alright, so that is it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this busy vlog for today because my timer is about to go off and the pickles will be just about ready to come out and do their little tink tink of success. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the things we have going on around here, and that's it for today. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to y'all next time.